In ancient Mesopotamia, the evening was a time of quiet and reflection. As the sun dipped below the horizon, families would gather in their modest homes to share simple meals. These gatherings were often centered around hearths that glowed warmly, casting soft shadows on the mud brick walls. The sound of crackling fires mingled with the gentle voices of family members as they shared stories and prepared for sleep. The evening rituals varied from town to town but typically included a communal meal that was both nourishing and comforting. In many households, oil lamps would be lit once darkness fell, providing dim light for activities such as weaving or mending clothes. The flickering flames cast dancing shadows on the walls, creating an atmosphere of warmth and tranquility. As night deepened, people in ancient Mesopotamia often retired early due to the lack of artificial lighting. They aligned their sleep patterns with natural daylight, finding rest when it was truly dark outside. This allowed them to wake naturally with the sunrise, a rhythm that many would find familiar today. The rooms were simple and rustic, with rough mud brick walls providing a sense of earthiness and stability. Woven mats served as bedding, offering comfort and warmth on cool evenings. The gentle breeze carried hints of nearby rivers or gardens, mingling with the scent of burning wood from hearths that still smoldered. Outside, moonlit rooftops provided serene silhouettes against the starry sky. In some towns, distant outlines of buildings could be seen under the soft glow of oil lamps, adding to the calm atmosphere of the night. The quiet architecture and local materials created a sense of harmony with nature, where each element played its part in creating a peaceful environment. In this world without modern comforts, the evening was a time for connection and rest. People would often sit around hearths or by flickering oil lamps, their voices blending into a soothing background as they prepared for sleep. The dimly lit rooms were filled with the comforting textures of woven mats and rough walls, enveloping them in warmth and tranquility. As the night wore on, the sounds of soft whispers and crackling fires gradually faded, giving way to the gentle silence that would eventually usher in a peaceful slumber. As night deepened, the flickering light of oil lamps began to dim, signaling that it was time for sleep. In many households, the last embers of hearths would slowly die out, leaving just a faint glow and the occasional hiss as wood smoldered. The rhythmic crackling of the fire gradually faded into the background, replaced by the soft rustle of fabric as people prepared their bedding. Woven mats were carefully laid on the cool floor or atop straw pallets, providing a simple yet comfortable place to rest. In some homes, animal skins may have been added for extra warmth during cooler nights. The gentle breeze carried whispers from outside, mingling with the scent of burning wood and occasionally bringing the distant sound of water trickling through irrigation channels. The quiet architecture of mud brick walls and thatched roofs created a sense of intimacy within each home. These structures were designed to keep out the elements while allowing for natural ventilation, ensuring a comfortable environment even as night fell. In larger towns or cities, the sounds of neighboring households might drift in through open windows, creating an interconnected web of quiet activity. Outside, moonlit rooftops provided serene silhouettes against the starry sky. Distant outlines of buildings could be seen under the soft glow of oil lamps, adding to the calm atmosphere of the night. The gentle hush that settled over the land was punctuated only by the occasional call of a nocturnal bird or the distant sound of water flowing in nearby rivers. In this world without modern comforts, the evening was a time for connection and rest. People would often sit around hearths or by flickering oil lamps, their voices blending into a soothing background as they prepared for sleep. The dimly lit rooms were filled with the comforting textures of woven mats and rough walls, enveloping them in warmth and tranquility. As the sun begins to set over ancient Mesopotamia, the city gradually transitions from a bustling hub of activity into a quieter, more serene environment. The streets once filled with merchants and workers now become less crowded as shops close their doors for the evening. Small lanterns hanging from buildings cast soft, warm light onto dimly lit streets, creating an atmospheric ambience. The sound of distant footsteps and occasional conversations echo through the narrow streets, growing fainter as night deepens. Dimly lit small hanging lanterns from buildings cast a warm glow that illuminates the quiet waterways and simple wooden bridges. The texture of rain-wet paths underfoot is soft and cool to the touch, adding to the tranquil atmosphere. In many towns, residents would often retire to their homes or gather in communal spaces for evening meals and socializing. Oil lamps were commonly used within households after dark, providing a gentle light that allowed families to continue their activities well into the night. Temple gates may have remained open late into the night, serving as gathering places for those seeking spiritual comfort or community interaction. The quiet waterways crisscrossing many Mesopotamian cities would reflect dim light from nearby lanterns and moonlight, creating a serene reflection on the water's surface. The mild chill in the air that accompanies the fading daylight creates an enveloping sense of calm as night falls. Visitors might have noticed the soft glow of oil lamps flickering through windows, casting a warm light onto the streets below. As dusk settles over the city, the sounds of daily life gradually fade away, replaced by the gentle whispers of wind and water. The quiet architecture and local materials that make up the city's buildings create a sense of continuity with the past, inviting residents to reflect on their day and prepare for restful sleep. As night deepens further, the soft glow of oil lamps flickers through windows, casting warm light onto the streets below. The gentle hum of evening conversations and laughter can still be heard from within homes, mingling with the occasional creaking of wooden doors as they are closed for the night. In many towns, residents would often retire to their homes or gather in communal spaces for evening meals and socializing. It is likely that families may have shared stories around hearth fires, passing down tales of their ancestors and daily happenings, while children might have been tucked into simple wooden beds with soft woolen blankets woven by local artisans. The mild chill in the air that accompanies the fading daylight creates an enveloping sense of calm as night falls. Visitors might have noticed the soft glow of oil lamps flickering through windows, casting a warm light onto the streets below. The quiet architecture and local materials that make up the city's buildings create a sense of continuity with the past, inviting residents to reflect on their day and prepare for restful sleep. The sound of distant footsteps and occasional conversations echo through the narrow streets, growing fainter as night deepens. Dimly lit small hanging lanterns from buildings cast a warm glow that illuminates the quiet waterways and simple wooden bridges. The texture of rain-wet paths underfoot is soft and cool to the touch, adding to the tranquil atmosphere. The gentle whispers of wind rustle through the reeds lining the waterways, creating a soothing melody as they sway in the breeze. The moonlight casts an ethereal glow over everything, highlighting the intricate patterns carved into wooden doors and window frames. In many cases, temple gates may have remained open late into the night, serving as gathering places for those seeking spiritual comfort or community interaction. As dusk settles over the city, the sounds of daily life gradually fade away, replaced by the gentle whispers of wind and water. The quiet waterways that crisscrossed many Mesopotamian cities would reflect dim light from nearby lanterns and moonlight, creating a serene reflection on the water's surface. In the ancient city of Mesopotamia, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, life moved at a slower pace. The walls of modest homes provided shelter from the bustling streets outside, creating sanctuaries where families could retreat to rest and rejuvenate. The sleeping quarters in these homes were often located near the center of the household, offering a measure of privacy from the daily commotion. Simple furnishings lined the walls, woven mats and low wooden beds that would have provided comfort for weary travelers or family members seeking respite after their day's work. These rooms may have been dimly lit by oil lamps or clay vessels filled with glowing embers, casting soft shadows on the earthen walls. The flickering light from these simple sources created a warm ambience, illuminating the textures and contours of the space in a gentle way. The sound of the crackling flame was soothing, blending harmoniously with the quiet rustle of the woven mats underfoot. These mats would have offered a natural texture beneath one's feet, grounding those who walked across them in the simplicity of their surroundings. In many cases, the walls might have been adorned with textiles or simple hangings to add warmth and insulation. The soft colors and patterns may have added an element of comfort and coziness to these modest rooms. As evening fell, a cool breeze would often enter through open windows or doorways, carrying the scent of nearby gardens or fields. Visitors might have noticed the quiet architecture that characterized many Mesopotamian homes, the use of local materials like clay bricks and wood, which blended seamlessly with their surroundings. The narrow streets outside were illuminated by moonlight reflecting off rain-wet paths, creating a serene atmosphere as one made their way back to the safety of home. Within these spaces, ordinary nighttime routines played out. Families may have gathered around simple hearths or oil lamps for quiet conversations and shared moments before settling into their beds. The soft lamplight cast an inviting glow over these interactions, fostering a sense of warmth and connection among those who called this place home. As the night deepened, the gentle sounds of the city would fade away, leaving behind only the faint crackle of firelight and the occasional whisper of wind through open doorways. In such tranquil moments, one could easily drift into restful sleep, surrounded by the simple comforts that define daily life in ancient Mesopotamia. As evening deepened, families may have gathered around simple hearths or oil lamps for quiet conversations and shared moments before settling into their beds. The soft lamplight cast an inviting glow over these interactions, fostering a sense of warmth and connection among those who called this place home. In the stillness of night, children might have been tucked in with whispered lullabies, while adults may have indulged in gentle storytelling or silent reflection. The architecture of Mesopotamian homes was characterized by its use of local materials such as clay bricks and wood, which blended seamlessly with their surroundings. The narrow streets outside were often illuminated by moonlight reflecting off rain-wet paths, creating a serene atmosphere as one made their way back to the safety of home. Within these spaces, the gentle sounds of the city would fade away, leaving behind only the faint crackle of firelight and the occasional whisper of wind through open doorways. In such tranquil moments, one could easily drift into restful sleep, surrounded by the simple comforts that define daily life in ancient Mesopotamia. The cool evening breeze carried the scent of nearby gardens or fields, mingling with the soft aroma of burning embers from the hearth. These sensory details combined to create a peaceful environment where weary souls could find solace and rejuvenation. In the ancient city of Mesopotamia, the night was a time when life slowed down and the spiritual world seemed closer. The moon, often seen as a symbol of divine presence, cast its silvery light over narrow streets and temple courtyards. As dusk fell, faint chanting could be heard from nearby temples, carried on the cool evening breeze. Residents may have offered prayers or made offerings to deities before bed, seeking protection and blessings for the night. These bedtime rituals were deeply ingrained in daily life, influenced by the central role that religion played in community affairs. Temples were not just places of worship, they were hubs where people gathered, shared stories, and perhaps left behind their worries. The courtyards of these temples often featured rough stone or clay floors, which could be felt underfoot as one approached the sacred space. Torches flickered gently within the temple gates, casting dancing shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of old. The dim light from these torches provided just enough illumination for visitors to navigate the narrow pathways leading deeper into the complex. In many towns, it is likely that people would have paused at the temple entrance before retiring for the night. They might have left a small offering, a handful of grain or a simple token, hoping to secure divine favor and protection during their sleep. The moonlight bathed everything in a serene glow, making even the most ordinary nighttime routines feel imbued with a sense of sacredness. The cool night air would often bring a gentle breeze through the narrow streets, carrying with it the distant sounds of nocturnal activities. In quieter moments, one might hear the faint murmur of prayers or offerings being made in nearby homes. These rituals were not just personal acts but communal ones, reinforcing bonds within the community and creating a shared sense of security. As you drifted off to sleep under the watchful gaze of ancient deities, the night held its own quiet magic. The flickering torches outside provided a comforting light, while the cool breeze brought a sense of renewal. In this atmosphere, surrounded by the dim glow of firelight and the distant silhouettes of temple structures, one could feel a deep connection to the spiritual world that permeated every aspect of life in ancient Mesopotamia. The night was not just a time for rest, it was an opportunity to seek divine guidance and protection. As you settled into your bed, perhaps with a small token left as an offering, you might have felt a sense of peace knowing that the gods were watching over you through the darkness. As you wandered through the narrow streets of ancient Mesopotamia, the soft glow from the flickering torches would often guide your path. The gentle light cast long shadows that danced across walls and courtyards, creating a sense of mystery and wonder in the dimly lit surroundings. The cool night air carried whispers of distant prayers, mingling with the rustle of leaves and the occasional hoot of an owl. The moonlight bathed everything in a serene glow, illuminating the rough stone or clay walls that lined the streets. These ancient materials held stories of generations past, their surfaces worn by time and weather. The quiet architecture of Mesopotamia was both functional and beautiful, with courtyards often featuring simple yet elegant designs that invited contemplation. In many homes, families may have gathered around a small hearth or lamp to share stories and perhaps offer brief prayers before retiring for the night. These lamps would emit a soft, warm light that contrasted with the cool moonlight outside, creating a cozy atmosphere within their humble abodes. The flickering flames cast gentle shadows on walls adorned with simple decorations or paintings, adding to the tranquil ambience. As you settled into your bed, perhaps under a blanket woven from local wool, you might have felt a deep sense of peace knowing that the gods were watching over you through the darkness. The distant silhouettes of temple structures would still be visible in the moonlight, their presence a constant reminder of the spiritual world that surrounded every aspect of life. The night was not just a time for rest, it held its own quiet magic, filled with the gentle sounds of nocturnal creatures and the occasional murmur of prayers from nearby homes. The cool breeze brought a sense of renewal, carrying whispers of ancient wisdom and divine protection. In this atmosphere, surrounded by the dim glow of firelight and the distant silhouettes of temple structures, one could feel deeply connected to the spiritual world that permeated every moment in ancient Mesopotamia. In the quiet hours of ancient Mesopotamia, when the sun had set and the city was enveloped in darkness, a sense of peace would settle over the streets. The rhythmic sound of footsteps on cobblestone echoed through the narrow lanes, marking the presence of night watchmen who patrolled the area to ensure safety. These watchmen would often walk along waterways that meandered through the towns, their lanterns casting dim light onto the water's surface and reflecting a soft glow back up. The gentle flicker of small lanterns carried by these guardians provided just enough illumination to guide them as they made their rounds. Wooden timber-framed townhouses stood tall on either side, their simple wooden bridges crossing over the waterways, creating a serene atmosphere under the moonlight. In many towns, night watchmen would check for any signs of fire or ensure that shops were securely closed for the evening. It is likely that in these quiet moments, residents felt a sense of security knowing that someone was keeping watch. The texture of the wooden structures and the cool dampness after a rain shower added to the calming ambience of the night. Visitors might have noticed the occasional signal from one watchman to another, a drumbeat or the sound of a horn echoing through the streets, indicating all was well. These sounds blended into the peaceful evening, providing reassurance that order was maintained and threats were kept at bay. The architecture around them was simple yet sturdy, with temple gates visible in the distance, their grandeur softened by the dim light of night. The sound of footsteps continued to be a constant reminder of the watchful presence patrolling the area, ensuring that even as residents slept, they could do so in relative peace and safety. As the night wore on, the sounds of the city gradually faded into silence, leaving only the soft whispers of the wind and the distant glow of lanterns. The calm atmosphere enveloped everything, creating a tranquil setting where sleepers could rest easy, knowing that their watchmen were diligently guarding the streets. The night watchmen would often pause at key intersections and crossroads, their eyes scanning the shadows for any signs of movement. They may have used simple tools like wooden sticks to prod at dark corners or under doorways, ensuring that no unwanted visitors had found a way into the city's homes. In many cases, these watchmen would also check on the condition of water channels and irrigation systems, which were vital for agriculture and daily life in Mesopotamia. The soft sound of water flowing through waterways could be heard even from some distance away, providing a soothing backdrop to their nightly rounds. Visitors might have noticed that the wooden bridges over these waterways would creak gently underfoot as the watchmen crossed them. The rhythmic creaking mingled with the distant hum of insects and the occasional rustle of leaves in the breeze, creating an almost hypnotic melody that accompanied the patrol. The architecture around them was simple yet sturdy, with mud brick walls and wooden beams supporting the structures. Temple gates stood tall in the distance, their grandeur softened by the dim light of night. The watchmen's lanterns cast long shadows on these ancient buildings, adding to the serene ambience of the evening. In some towns, Residents may have left small offerings or tokens near the entrances of their homes as a gesture of gratitude to the watchmen for their vigilance. These simple acts could include a bowl of fruit, a loaf of bread, or perhaps a jug of water, which would be appreciated by the weary guardians as they continued their rounds. The night air was often filled with the scent of damp earth and the occasional aroma of cooking fires from distant homes. The soft glow of these fires through small openings in the mud brick walls could be seen flickering gently, adding to the tranquil atmosphere of the evening. As the watchmen made their way back toward central areas of the city, they might have encountered other guards or exchanged brief nods and greetings with residents who were still awake or returning home late. These interactions would likely be short and respectful, maintaining a sense of calm and order in the community. The sound of footsteps on cobblestone streets continued to echo through the narrow lanes, marking the presence of these watchmen as they ensured that all was well throughout the night. The rhythmic pattern of their movements provided a comforting rhythm for those who slept, knowing that someone was keeping watch over the city. In the quiet townhouses of ancient Mesopotamia, the night would often bring a sense of shared intimacy and warmth. The residents may have gathered in their sleeping quarters with family members, sometimes even sharing space with livestock to maintain body heat during colder nights. These spaces were typically simple, with woven reed mats or animal skins laid directly on the floor serving as bedding. Soft light from small lanterns cast a gentle glow over these intimate living quarters, illuminating the wooden walls and casting shadows that danced softly against the grain of the wood. The sound of distant footsteps and occasional murmurs from neighbors settling in for sleep would drift through the narrow streets outside, adding to the quiet atmosphere. The texture of the woven reed mats or animal skins used as bedding materials was both familiar and comforting. Each night, residents would lay down on these simple yet sturdy surfaces, their bodies sinking slightly into the softness beneath them. The air outside was cool, with a slight chill that suggested the need for close quarters and shared warmth. Narrow streets and quiet waterways outside were dimly lit by moonlight, creating silhouettes of distant trees and buildings against the starry sky. Simple wooden bridges spanned these waterways, their outlines barely visible in the soft glow of the night. The occasional sound of a gentle breeze rustling through leaves or the faint splash of water from the waterway added to the serene ambience. Inside the townhouses, the quiet architecture was made of local materials that had been used for generations. Wooden beams and walls were sturdy yet welcoming, providing shelter from the elements while allowing the warmth of the small lanterns to permeate the living spaces. The soft lamplight would flicker gently, casting an ever-changing pattern of shadows across the room. As night deepened, the townhouses would become a haven of calm, with residents finding comfort in their simple surroundings and the company of those around them. The sounds outside grew quieter, save for the occasional distant call or the soft rustle of leaves. Inside, the gentle light from small lanterns continued to provide a sense of security and warmth. In this quiet world, each night was a reminder of the enduring nature of human comfort and connection, even in the absence of modern conveniences. The simple pleasures of shared warmth and familiar surroundings created an atmosphere that was both soothing and restful, allowing for peaceful sleep under the watchful gaze of the ancient stars above. The air outside was filled with a gentle stillness, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves and the soft lapping of water against the waterway walls. Inside the townhouses, the soft glow from small lanterns continued to cast an ever-changing pattern of shadows across the wooden beams and walls. The warmth from these simple light sources would often be supplemented by small hearth fires, which may have been kept burning low throughout the night. The residents would likely have spent their evenings winding down with quiet activities such as weaving or crafting, engaging in soft conversations, or simply sitting together in shared silence. As bedtime approached, they might have prepared for sleep by arranging their bedding and extinguishing any remaining flames to avoid smoke and potential hazards. The scent of burning reeds or dried herbs may have lingered in the air, adding a comforting aroma to the evening. The wooden beams and walls of these townhouses were crafted from local materials that had been used for generations, providing both strength and a sense of familiarity. Each creak and groan of the structure would be familiar to its inhabitants, serving as a soothing reminder of home. The soft lamplight flickered gently, creating an ever-shifting play of light and shadow on the walls, which helped to create a serene atmosphere conducive to rest. Outside, the narrow streets were dimly lit by moonlight, casting long shadows from any remaining lanterns or hearth fires that may have been visible through open doorways. The occasional sound of water dripping into a waterway basin would add to the tranquil ambience, while distant silhouettes of trees and buildings could be seen against the starlit sky. These quiet moments were often punctuated by the soft hoot of an owl or the gentle chirping of crickets, sounds that would have been familiar to those living in ancient Mesopotamia. Inside the townhouses, the simple wooden furniture was arranged thoughtfully around the central hearth area, providing a focal point for family gatherings and nighttime activities. The warmth from the hearth fire may have spread through the room, creating a cozy atmosphere that invited relaxation and sleep. As night deepened, the quiet architecture of these homes would become a haven of calm, with each resident finding comfort in their familiar surroundings and the gentle presence of those around them. The sounds outside grew quieter as the townhouses settled into a peaceful slumber. The distant murmur of conversations or the soft footsteps of neighbors settling down for the night eventually faded away, leaving only the quiet rustle of leaves and the occasional splash of water from the waterway to break the stillness. Inside, the gentle light from small lanterns continued to flicker softly, casting a warm glow over the sleeping quarters and providing a sense of security and warmth. In this tranquil world, each night was a reminder of the enduring nature of human comfort and connection, even in the absence of modern conveniences. The simple pleasures of shared warmth and familiar surroundings created an atmosphere that was both soothing and restful, allowing for peaceful sleep under the watchful gaze of the ancient stars above. As the first light of dawn begins to filter through the mist, the city gradually awakens. The early morning silence is broken by distant sounds of roosters crowing and the soft footsteps of those beginning their day. Shadows lengthen as the sun ascends, casting a warm glow over rooftops and narrow streets. In many cases, people in ancient Mesopotamia would rise with the dawn to begin their daily activities. The city would slowly come alive as household chores and morning rituals commenced. Temple gates may have opened early for worshippers seeking divine favor at sunrise. Quiet waterways and narrow streets reflected the early morning light, creating a serene atmosphere. The sound of roosters crowing echoes through the misty air, their calls resonating with the start of another day. Distant footsteps are heard on cobbled paths as people make their way to nearby wells or markets. The cool morning air carries a hint of dampness from overnight dew, and rough wooden textures can be felt on timber-framed townhouses. Soft, warm light filters through the misty air, casting gentle shadows across rooftops and courtyards. In many towns, residents would have been accustomed to these early morning routines, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of nature. The streets are quiet but not empty. A few individuals might be seen making their way along the narrow paths, perhaps carrying buckets or baskets. Temple grounds may have been among the first places to see activity as worshippers arrived for prayers and offerings. Simple wooden bridges spanned calm waterways, reflecting the early morning light in tranquil waters. The cityscape was defined by its quiet architecture, with local materials like mud bricks and wood forming the structures that housed daily life. As dawn progresses, the city continues to awaken slowly and deliberately. Shadows lengthen as the sun climbs higher, bathing rooftops and streets in a warm glow. People go about their morning tasks, moving through the narrow lanes with purpose but without hurry. The early light casts long shadows, creating an almost ethereal quality to the surroundings. Visitors might have noticed the simplicity of these ancient Mesopotamian towns, where life was closely tied to the natural world and daily routines were often dictated by the changing light and seasons. The city's architecture, with its use of local materials like mud bricks and wood, created a sense of harmony with the environment. As the sun rises higher, the early morning calm gives way to a gentle bustle, but the essence of peace remains. The dawn's approach brings a quiet transition into the new day, filled with soft light and subtle sounds that mark the beginning of another chapter in ancient Mesopotamian life. The early morning light casts a gentle hue over the cityscape, illuminating the quiet architecture that defines these ancient Mesopotamian towns. The soft glow of dawn may have been accompanied by the faint flicker of lamps or hearth fires still smoldering from the previous night's warmth. In many homes, people would often begin their day with simple rituals, perhaps lighting a small fire to start cooking breakfast or tending to household chores. As dawn fully sets in, the city settles into its rhythm, ready for another day filled with the simple routines that defined life in ancient times. The soft sounds of morning prayers and conversations continue to fill the air, creating an atmosphere of calm and reflection. Each passing moment brings a new form to the city as people carry out their tasks with a sense of quiet determination.